Hello, everyone. It's Yogi here. I hope you're well. Happy Tuesday. Amazing. Where's the week gone? My goodness. And I hope you're ready for a spot of stitching. I certainly am. So, this is the piece I'm working on today. So, this is one of the four cross stitching kits I've been having for maybe, throughout the years. And I think the first kit I got was back in 2018. And this one I might have got sort of just briefly after that. But I didn't work on them until during the lockdown, really. So a lot of memories kind of stitched into these pieces. And, whenever I choose to do a 14 count projects, it's like a nice little relaxation and look at these beautiful big stitches. And this pattern is really well charted as well. And if you don't believe me, let me show you. So this piece is called Stationery Store. And I'll talk a little bit about maybe the artist of this piece. And I think I've just found out from our Facebook group, like today. It was just such a coincidence. I was going to work on this piece today, and there's some discussion. I think this is probably the same artist. We can have a little chat later on. But you can see how beautiful and whimsical this is. This is probably the only night view other than winter note, but it was indoor. So this is, the only kind of night view as in outdoor design that I have. And in the horizon, you can see that there's a suspiciously looking tower there that looks like Eiffel Tower, I think. And I think 3 of the 4 pieces that I have with the 14 count kits, they all have that kind of, theme around France and maybe Paris. And I just adore the style and the color scheme as well. So this piece, you know what? There's a big change today. Because so far, I've been tracking my progress with markup RXP, which means I have to work page by page, which is kind of a restriction. You could work on a big piece, but the app just wasn't working that well. And finally, I got hold of the digital copy of this design, and we can talk a little bit more about that. I mentioned it maybe a couple of streams ago. So today I am actually going to track my progress with Pattern Keeper, okay, and see how nice and responsive this is. Oh my God. And this is a proper digital version, not a scanned in version like I had with markup IXP. So I managed to catch up most of the stitches here, maybe a few stitches out, but very close. So today you can see the whole piece here. Let me show you here. So this is an entire piece, quite a few pages involved, and I have completed close to 2 pages, but from last stream, I decided to move up to this position rather than keep going down and finish this piece, which I will, to come back to this page and continue to basically complete it. It's very, very close to completion. And so today I'm going to continue from the last session there and go to the page 2, technically, to continue to work on this area. So this is the roof of the building there. Let me just flip back to the markup here. If you look at the upper left there, the blue, beautiful deep blue roof there, that's where I am. So with this piece, the great thing about it is from now on, I don't need to follow the page definition. I could if I choose to, but now I can just free roam and go wherever I want and gradually go down. I'll try not to go out of order, probably go from upper left from here, and then gradually come down and eventually, start to work at the bottom row. So I'm so happy. This is this has been my dream to have a digital version of these 4 kids, and now I do. So I am so looking forward to it. And I'll talk a little bit about why I haven't imported or using Saga instead. And it's a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up. And before I'm going to do that, of course, I'm going to look to the chat and see who I've got with me today. Rajal, once again, you're the first to report to the chat. And Rajal says, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday where you are. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Stitchy friends. And Sarah is here as well. Hello, hello. Grace Helston says hello, everyone. And Busy Mom is here as well. I hope you're not too busy today. And Betty Lou Taylor is here with us as well. Wonderful to see you. And Im Pepping is here as well. Leslie McLean, she says, hello everyone, happy stitching. Of course, this is our happiest spot on the planet. And Kerry Van Kessel is here as well. Hello, Kerry. And Brittany is here as well. Hopefully the dental situation is improving today. But I'm just glad that you can play with us while you're recovering. And Erin Smakes, hello all. First time catching a live happy stitching. Well done, Erins. And hope you enjoy your stay. Everybody is happy to see you, I'm sure. Valerie Phillips, hello, hello. And Jamie's here as well. Is it Jamie or Jamie? Let me know. She says, hello, everyone. And Steve, of course, Steve is here. Hello, hello. Nikki is here as well. So happy to see you. And Suzanne is here. Report to the chat. And Tracy Dumas says, hello, everyone. And Textile Journey by Ilya. Now I know it's Ilya. Welcome back, Ilya. And let's see, Peggy. Hello. Peggy Carstens. She says, hello, everyone. And Brandy is here as well. She says, hello, everyone. I can only pop in for a moment and my sound is off as I'm at work. So I don't know what you're looking at. Wave to Brandy here. There's no sound. And just look at my fingers. Yes, that's just thrilling, absolutely thrilling. And Clover Stitcher as well. Hello, hello, welcome back. And Small Town Stitches, good to see you. Annie B, hello, welcome. She says, hello, finally caught a live stream. Been watching replays and happy stitching, everyone. I know it is something special about catching the live session. Replay is just as fun, but live is even better, if I dare say so myself. And Susan Chamberlain says, warning peeps, I was watching episode 3, Dry Flowers, and Yogi confessed she's done 1,000 stitches. Oh my God. Episode 3, Dry Flowers, that's like ages ago. In the history of channel, obviously, it's a very young channel. And Yogi's undercover alien. Oh, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about that, Susan. Oh my goodness. Everything's on the internet. Kelly Saw says, hello, everyone. And yes, I think I've got everybody so far. So welcome to the live stream. Oh, what a start. So this piece is a 14 count, if I haven't mentioned already. 14 count. And let me have a sip of my peppermint tea here. Ah, nice and hot. I just freshly brewed. And of course, let me know what you're working on today with me, and also what you're drinking. Okay, power drinks for power stitching session here. So this is 14 count. I'm Ada, and you can probably tell the texture is different. And I'm stitching 1/1 full cross, and it's really satisfying. And in terms of the floss, I'm using the threads that come from with the kids. So I just label them 14 count kids because I've got 4 of them. And so the floss, they're compatible with DMC, so same color charge, but the texture is a little bit different, a little bit more, I say, in terms of colors, a little bit more matte as well, and but really nice to stitch for 14 counts in particular. And so today, I think I'm in the mood for easygoing cross country. So last few days I've been parking, and some people were having a little fit, watching me. All of threads flowing around. So today, I'm going to go parking free. Okay, so I'm going to just go for easy cross country here, maybe wander down a little bit further, if I have the courage to. And I managed to grit about probably half a page and a little bit here. So, I think gridding wise, it's all good. It's been a busy day, so wonderful to come in and stitch with you. Let me get my lighting here. And I am just so happy now I can work with Pattern Keeper or digital version of the pattern and not have to fiddle with Markup RXP as well. And Markup RXP has its own good points, but it's fiddly, quite clunky to use. So, it's always wonderful when you have an app that actually works well and responsive. Pattern Keeper is definitely one of them. So nice and close here. So I'm going to pick my first victim today. I can't wait. Welcome back, Pattern Keeper. I've been using Saga quite a lot recently. So I'm going to just pick one and just start stitching. Okay, pick a symbol. And yes, so my first choice is 3371. I hope you've been well. So UK is still warm, but getting slightly cloudy today. The usual grey sky of London. 3371. 3371. My first victim. So let me grab my needle. 3371. And yesterday I was getting, my nose was a little bit congested, so I was a little bit worried, but luckily it's all cleared up now, all good. It's nothing a power nap can't fix. So I'm good to go today. So let's have a go to see what everybody's working on. So, Rose is here. Hello, good to see you. Welcome. And Kerry is working on Merry Mushroom Cottage, of course. Yes, everybody knows that. That's wonderful. It's a really, really epic piece as well. Really pretty. And Susan is working on Jane Lin Lighthouses. Oh, interesting. And Sarah drinking cherry Diet Coke today. We were just talking about Diet Coke the other day. And I just never got used to the taste. But, I like my Diet Coke. And I might have one, later on. It's a bit naughty to have it in the evening. But I could be tempted. I like the fizz. So refreshing. And Brittany says, working on Long Dog sampler today and drinking coffee. Very nice. Very nice. I just finished a coffee, actually. So I'm drinking my tea. And let's start here. So let's have a look here. And maybe zoom out a little bit as well. Let's see. And with this piece, yes, just by pure chance, our group was talking about the 14 counts, the other ones. Other than the craft room, I've got 4 pieces. I always suspected maybe by the same artist because the style is very similar, and also the subject matter. they're all revolving around Paris somehow. Fictional or factual scenes, I have no idea. But I think someone, maybe I can't remember who it was, in the chat, well, in the group, saying that it's by an artist called John Patrick O'Brien, I think. And it's a relief because I had a Google and quite a lot of images I'm very familiar with come up. And so I'm pretty sure the wedding shop and the other two, one more, the hat shop, they're definitely from the same artist. But this one, I think, is probably by him as well, because the style is very different, even though I didn't see the markup for this particular one. Let me just bring up the little reference picture here. But I'm pretty sure it wouldn't surprise me at all if this one is also by him. Oh, so great to work with Pattern Keeper, to work with the proper digital version here. And so the mystery is solved in that sense, even though the naming of the piece is slightly different. And there are other companies actually charted up his artwork as well. So it's good news that you will be able to get hold of. I'm not sure about this piece. I didn't see it in those kits. Because this one, even though I got it from Amazon, from a company called Max Stitching Design, I recently got in touch with, but I'm not sure they do this one anymore. I'm not too sure. I can ask them. But they also charted the craft room, which is a lot of people ask about that kit. And up to this point, I wasn't able to help anybody because the kits are no longer available here on Amazon, at least. But who knows? They might do it again. So and the reason, yes, I need to explain. The reason I've got the digital version of this pattern and the other 4 kits as well is because I got in touch with the company I bought this kit from, even though I bought it from Amazon, but I managed to look up their website and I got in touch with them and they just sent the patterns to me. I was so shocked. And so they clearly still have these patterns, and if they're able to kit it up or even just selling the patterns, it would be fantastic, wouldn't it? And these are really well charted pieces, so it would be great if people who like the patterns can get hold of it. All of them have back stitches, so it makes them even more fun to do, I think. You're able to add more details. And oh yes, let's get back to the 1,000 stitches debacle here, okay, guys? Yes, now I remember. So the channel has really only been around for about 3-4 months, maybe 4 months. And so when I say old video or old stream, it's not that old. It was just a few months ago. So I remember that, yes, I have. Okay. I have done 1,000 before. Once. Okay, it is true. It is true. So who brought that up? Oh, Susan. Okay. Susan, you troublemaker. No, yes, it's true. I've done 1,000, okay? But that was a very strange day And I can't remember, I'm trying to recall which project I was doing. Maybe it was the cake shop, little cake shop, the Amy Stewart piece. And for some reason, I was just stitching for long hours that day and without knowing, but not in one go. I'm not like Sarah. I can just sit there and stitch for 10 hours, even though we've done a marathon together. But it's, I literally have to be pinned on the chair to be able to stitch more than half an hour at a time. And, not being disrupted by something. So stitching here with you is great because, I have a reason to be here and stitch properly, or I just get distracted. I walk away and do other things. For that day, for some reason, I just kept stitching. I couldn't stop. I didn't want to stop. I remember it because it was one off. Okay. And I think I managed 1,000. But I don't know what happened there, but I never managed to even come close. I think the closest from other than that day was maybe somewhere around 700, another strange day, and never happened again. And the rest of the days, even the highest account, the stitch count that I can recall, are not even close to 700. So I don't know what happened that day. Maybe, one of those time warps I just fell into. Maybe it was one of the stargates that just opened that day for me. Like we were talking about yesterday, if everybody stitch on the same color, 666, some strange vortex opens and we'll get sucked in. I think I was in that kind of alternative dimension that day. And yes, I think if I calculated correctly, I did about 1,000 or slightly over. I wasn't able to reproduce that, reenact that performance again. But it did happen. It's true. It is true. Okay? I'm not alien. Maybe just for one day. But I can try all I want. It's just not even close. So there. I'm not alien. Don't you put me in the alien club. I refuse. I'll fight you. Sarah, you wish. Sarah says, I knew she was an alien in hiding. Then I've been hiding really well, Sarah. Master of masquerade. No, unfortunately, I am genuinely slow. It's a gift, I don't question it. I am so happy with this piece. Now I can just stitch like a normal person. Really, really nice. And I also looked into other pieces. They're not, as far as I'm aware of, not being cross-stitched or turned into cross-stitch pattern from John O'Brien. They're so beautiful. I'm so drawn to the style. So whoever came up with the name, suggested that name, I thank you. Now I know who created these beautiful pieces. But I still don't know the craft room, the Granny's craft room, which a lot of people love and I love as well. This one, let me just bring up the craft room. Where are you here? Yes, this piece. If anybody knows who created this piece, I'd love to know. I'll probably ask the company anyway. I forgot to do that. But, I really love to know who created this. So, hey, Joyce, hello. Joyce is in the chat. Joyce, did you miss me? I didn't see you yesterday. It's like a full-time job for Joyce to come to see Yogi. Let's have a look. And Erin says, started another Lucas as kit for my birthday week. hydrogen today, coty. Oh, amazing. Yes. Can you do birthday week? Isn't that a little bit extravagant? It's a birthday. I think the Queen of England will probably celebrate birthday for the entire week. But yes, happy birthday week to you, earrings. And Busy Mom says, I'll be working on later. I'm at work. Mini a Barnyard Animals by Donna Gilsinger. I'm drinking water. Amazing. Busy Mom. Almost there, almost there. Then you can go home. Luckily, the journey is short. And then you can come and join us. Or rejoin us, rather. Beautiful. So first color down, and I'm going to just pick another color and flow from top of the page so I don't create too many boxed in stitches that I have to go back and hunt later. So beautiful, so nice, because with the scan paper pattern on in Markup RXP, I have to go in and manually highlight the stitches all the time, because there are quite a lot of back stitching symbols on top of all the symbols, like everywhere. So you know, I have to go back and go into the system and fix it all the time. And now I don't have to do that, even though it's not showing, the pattern's not showing back stitching, but it's quite okay. It's quite okay. I can do with that. 3858, 3858. You know, I don't mind falling into one of those stitches vortex or stargates. You know, one more time. I'd like to be able to do 1,000, maybe, you know, at some point. Whether it's going to happen or not, I have no idea. But I wouldn't mind. But considering my performance yesterday, you know, if you remember the stitch count at the end, well, you know, you're probably not holding your breath. So, me either. Marsha is here. Hello, hello. Welcome from Australia. Australia's waking up, or at least Marsha is waking up. Sarah's drinking cherry Diet Coke. I've got that one. And if I miss you for any reason on the chat, just give me a little wave. You know, I try to read, but you know, I can't read. So Suzanne says, new rotation, finished 1,000 stitches with fox and flowers. Now the whale says, oh, you're using that. Well, it's just like a dartboard. Yes. Now the whale says, Yumiko again. I started a story keep Maketi last night. Amazing. Suzanne is leaving everything to chance there. So the different methods the stitches use. I've heard about the temperature, and I've heard about the spinning wheel. And, you know, at some point, someone's going to just use a dartboard or, I don't know, slot machine to predict, to choose the next project, because we have so many. We don't know what to do. That one and this one as well. Oh, so much easier. I'm so happy because I love these projects. But every time I thought, well, I'd love to work, you know, do some more. I just have this sinking feeling that I have to deal with Markup RXP. I'm so sorry, Markup RXP. I'm not bashing you. It's just, it is difficult. But now I'm free from that. And I love the sound coming from the fabric. 14 counts. So satisfying. There. I might do one more at the bottom. It's just one stitch below here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then 2 to the right. Very nice. I'm feeling more comfortable cross country now. A bit less afraid. Whereas before, I probably wouldn't go down to this stitch. I'll definitely stop like that. So it's there's some improvement there. Beautiful. 3, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8. Let me just dot my needle there. Small Town says, I'm working in and between prepping froze my next floss tube. Oh, yes. So does that mean I lost the comment. Oh, Small Town Stitches. Oh, you're floss tuber as well. Oh, wonderful. We have many floss tubers in the chat. Joyce is one, Stitchy Dachi, Nikki is one, and Ebony pops in on a regular basis. We have many, many of them. And sometimes we have visits from Japanese floss tubers as well. It's wonderful. And Rose says, I'm working on paperwork at the office today. Oh, the fun. And drinking Dr. Pepper. Oh, controversy right there. Dun, dun, dun. No stitching for me until I get off work. I'm so sad. It's okay. We'll keep you company. And if the boss ever trying to check, just give me a little wave. I'll turn this broadcast into BBC World. Okay, we'll talk about like stuff. Joy says, I'm going to stitch on River Walk Charm and I'm drinking, I know how to pronounce that. Robust tea. I know. I think it's from Australia, isn't it? I know. I tried that tea before. It's quite bright red, isn't it, Joyce? And River Walk Charm is a popular piece for our viewers. We have many viewers stitching that piece. It's beautiful. And is it Roibus? Roibus. It goes with the accent, Australian accent. So Marsha is here. Marsha can probably enlighten us to pronounce it properly. My next choice here, 315, 315, 315. Oh, somebody's birthday. Let me just scroll down. I'm way behind the chat as usual. Is it Rose's birthday? Oh, Rose says my birthday was yesterday. I'm in denial that I turned another year older. Oh dear. Yes. No, it's great. It's wonderful. Happy birthday, Rose. And Steve says, Nikki, I guess you have to start doing a nightly live show. Yes, Nikki. You can do it in a different time zone, right? So everybody has a live stream to go wherever they are, whenever, all day long. All day long. We can do relay entire day. I finish, another person starts. move it to down here. So much easier this. And also in the chat, I've been thinking, because I don't want to miss any sort of comments, because sometimes there are chatters between you guys, which is perfectly fine. If you have specific question you want me to answer, for instance, you know, I don't want to miss it. And I probably miss quite a lot of messages. So if you do have, you know, question you would like me to answer or whatever it is, if you put a like a emoji in front of your comment, like a question mark or something, then I can spot it and I know I'll go to those first, and then I'll go back from time to time to look at other, you know, comments there, because I don't want to miss anything. Particularly if you have questions, it will help me to kind of spot it. And the rest of the time was just chit chat, you know. We have a look to down here. And I think my speed for the 14 counts will probably improve. Now I'm using Pattern Keeper. And the other day, when I first got the patterns, the first thing I did, I imported the digital patterns to Pattern Keeper and realized everything was imported perfectly. But then I also try to import them onto Saga as well. And I think I spoke too soon there, because I thought at least 2 of the patterns imported properly. The other ones were broken. They were missing pages and stuff. And I don't know why it does that. But even the ones that look okay, I later on to check on the stitch counts, there were quite a few missing, and I have no idea why. I think there are certain parts of the PDFs Saga just did not understand, so they just ignore those stitches. So I ended up with a few thousand missing, even though the markup looked okay. That's the weird thing. Even with those stitches missing, the markup looked okay, so I just presume it worked. But when I checked the stitch counts, there's a whole bunch of them missing. So at least for now, I'm not able to use Saga, even though I was tempted. I thought maybe, you know, I'm able to work on it with Saga as well. But at least at the moment, that's not possible. So I don't know. There's a lot of compatibility issues with Saga there. Just one stitch here. Joy says, rooibos is red bush. Oh, red bush! It's African. Okay, so it's not Australian. I got it wrong. I knew it was something like that. Red bush, that's why. But it's spelled, it reads like rooibos. Rooibos. It's bright red. And let me do these ones here. 2 more here. Sarah is saying happy birthday. Oh, beautiful voice, Sarah. Happy belly button day. Well, Nikki's asking, did you get a birthday chart? But we don't need birthday to get charts. We get charts all the time. We don't need any excuses. We just get them. There you go. Nice and easy here. So quite a lot of brown and blue today. As I move down here, I'll get to that deep blue roof top there. It's really pretty. Here we go, 779, 779. Susan says, Yogi, what did you type in to get the Max Stitches website? The company name, I don't know why they're different, but if you type in, the domain name is, let me think, stitchdmc.com, I think. But the title of the website says Max Stitch. Yes, Max Stitch Design or something like that. Yes, if you type in stitchdmc.com, it should come up. And they're so kind, just sent me the digital pattern without even asking me to verify my purchases. So they just go, ta-la, there you go. All 4 patterns. I think the only thing they need to, they actually asked me if I had issues with, loading them up to apps. So far, Pattern Keeper seems to be working perfectly fine with their patterns, but Saga doesn't like it. But hopefully, if they're willing to work on their digital, I think everybody should go digital. I think the paper version can be an option, but it just seems, unnecessary to have just paper patterns. I think it just seems a little bit limiting, particularly, with full coverage pieces. I think it's okay for samplers. For projects like this, paper pattern is not for everybody. Just scroll up a little bit. I missed a whole bunch of things. Brandy's drinking water. Oh, have water and cold coffee. I'm drinking. Oh, now I really want some coffee. And Annie B says, I'm knitting on baby blanket right now, but we'll be switching to Kim Jacobs' quoting room soon and drinking coffee today. Amazing. Suzanne says, I'm glad you didn't end up sick, unlike my child who's got first week of school. Yeah, Suzanne, I get because I'm in close contact to a lot of people all the time teaching classes, and you never know what they have. And even though they're strong enough to come to the classes, maybe they're carrying some, something. So it's not unusual. Sometimes I just feel slightly sort of sore throat, or maybe slightly fluey, or a little bit of a runny nose, like yesterday, like last night. And but normally my body seems to fight it off. I think, if you're exposed to all sorts of things, germs, viruses, more frequently, your body's more kind of adaptable. And what I normally do is, if I can, I just jump into a sauna and sweat it off. Or sometimes if I feel something around the throat, obviously my voice is important with teaching, and I would take Nurofen, 2 Nurofen before bedtime, and normally the next day I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know why. I think for some reason painkiller fixes something. I have no idea, but it seems to work. And so fingers crossed. Baduhi is here. Hello, sorry, it took a while to get to you. Oh, I can barely read most days. Welcome, Vaduhi. Vaduhi's says started a new project today on 25 counts, struggling a little bit of any advice. Oh, you have to tell everybody which one you're working on and why, what you're struggling with. And Im is working on 80s window again. Oh, the pattern with big eyes rolling around, multiple pairs of eyes. And Jamie's working on Merry Mushroom Cottage. Elias, Vervain tea with a piece of 70% chocolate. Very nice. I don't know what Vervain tea is. And working on 14 count mother and child Gustav Klimt. Oh my goodness, beautiful piece. I love Klimt. Oh, Joyce says, I just saw a John O'Brien pattern on Artsy. Is the wedding shop. Yes, I think I saw that piece as well. I didn't see this piece though. I don't know whether just no one's charting them anymore. But I do know there is a Japanese floss tuber who is working on this piece. Not from this kit, but I think she got it from Etsy somewhere. But I haven't been able to identify which vendor. It's under the name of, I think, Romantic City or something like that. I don't know. They'll, get named differently just to confuse people. Alison is here. Alison Rennie. She says, evening everyone, working on hate dragonflies. A lot of blue. Dragonfly. Suzanne had a bingo? Really? Oh, mass spooky bingo, yes. It opens the Stargate when that happens. And all of us get transported to the Stitcher's paradise, at least for a day, you know, like a day trip. And then we get to come back. I hope. Who knows? Some might just stay there. Who knows? Two, three. Where am I? Yep. I have to get used to working with Pattern Keeper because you have to switch tabs. I forgot I had to do that working with Saga for a little bit more recently. Michelle Fuller is here. Hello, hello. And Michelle Brown as well. Double Michelle. One after the other. Michelle Brown says howdy. So Michelle Fuller, say hello to Michelle Brown and vice versa, okay? When you have the same name, you have to greet each other. I'm way behind, way behind. Right there. And I think I'm going to move over. Maybe here. Yes. I'm getting a little bit daring. There. I love 14 counts. It's so therapeutic to stitch. I mean, it's all fabric counts are therapeutic. There's something about 14, particularly if you've been working on smaller stitches for a few days and come back to 14. It just feels great. Feels great. Ilya says it's a company from China. I think it is. I think it is. I looked at the company address. It seems to be in China. I think a lot of cross-stitching kit companies are in China for some reason. Suzanne says regarding her son Alex, he used to never get sick, but last few years he's got more. He's not like oh my God, super sick, just enough to keep him home. Yeah, maybe the immune system. I think has a lot to do with the immune system. It's interesting because immune system has to be challenged in order to get stronger, because if you always, you know, protect yourself from germs and all sorts of viruses, in a way if you really get hit and get infected, it could become quite serious. But if you kind of exposed to, you know, stuff on a regular basis, your body just learns to kind of fight it. So, you know, you can't be overly protective, I think. Let me see that one. Very nice. My London bus is here with me today to make sure that, you know, if I need a ride home, it's there for me. Oh, verbena tea. I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. It's one of those herbal teas, is it? Badui says, I'm working on River Cottage by Dominic Davison, and I'm trying Gemma's method. And I see. And Vaduhi's struggling. Have you been watching Gemma's methods? She's got like tutorial videos that she kind of slows down and explain a little bit more. I think she's got one for her original method, the diagonal, a little bit more, I wouldn't say strict, but more sort of rules around it. And she's got another one for color flow as well, so look it up. It really helps just to kind of, you know, watch how she works. You'll get your head around. And also try not to rush. You know, Gemma's method, at least for, you know, person sort of, you know, first time stitching it, you need to be patient and not rush. 550. Because if you're trying to stitch fast, it's not a method that you would naturally do that. I think you can probably learn to do it a lot faster. It'd probably take time. Susan says, just nipped on to Amazon. The wedding shop is still being sold, 32 plus £1.20 delivery. Right, is it from the same company? So they may be kitted up by different companies, I don't know. But that's good, because I remember when I bought them, they're a bit more than 32. I think maybe 45 or something. But they're very generous with the material. They give you a lot of floss. And it's really nice to stitch. I really like the way the thread stitch. Oh, right. So it's first time 25 counts for Vaduhi. But hang on, Vaduhi, you're stitching on 25 counts and Gemma's method. You'll probably struggle. You'll probably struggle. That's not the best combination as far as, you know, I think I tried to do Gemma's method with 22 and 25. I just couldn't, it didn't flow. I think the method works much better on lower counts, maybe 18 downwards, I think. Oh, Suzanne says, where did you get your Lily of the Valley needle minder? Which one is that? This one? This one? Is that what you're referring to? If you're talking about this one, I think it was from Etsy. There's a vendor If you're interested, I can bring it up. If this was the one you're referring to, let me know. I didn't know the name of the needle miter. I don't remember them. Steve? What? Steve says, well, I felt silly. My video never started. So we're just chatting amongst ourselves in Yogi's absence. Oh, yeah, well, why not? It's just that kind of, situation. You just chat. If it makes sense, then enjoy it, Steve. It happens sometimes. You're waiting on some sort of live stream, and it depends on the browser, I think. Sometimes it automatically starts, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, I'm glad Steve actually found us. Otherwise, he would have been chatting with a whole bunch of people thinking, what are they talking? What are they talking about? That's very funny, Steve. Suzanne says, I'll spin a wheel to decide which Kim projects for tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow is our Kim day. Whoa. Time flies, isn't it? I feel like we've just done a Kim day. Yes. And I think I'm doing well with the quote room. It's one of those pieces that you just have to be patient before you see something a bit more tangible. But it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I've got my sewing machine there. So, that will be my kind of foundation area. And I'll expand from there. Senior computer. I think it's probably the browser. I don't know. Who knows? Miriam says, trouble with 14 count is that sometimes you can't get fabric big enough for the chart. True. If you're doing supersize height, then yeah, you probably have to stitch two together. Yes, 14 counts would be massive. But the company, that's a really good question, actually. The company Gecko Rouge, they do, for instance, the piece I'm doing with Gecko Rouge, which is massive, absolutely massive. I'll see if I can bring up the markup to show you. I haven't worked on that piece for a little while. Let me just bring up. It's bigger than supersize. Let me see. It's bigger than supersize height. So this is the piece I'm working on. So this is the only Gecko Rouge kit I've got, and I went with a bang. And so, but this one I'm working on 25 counts, right? So it's, the fabric isn't so much a problem, and they supply the fabric as well. But with this pattern, most of the patterns, you can pick 14 counts as well. So I have no idea whether they have a special place they can get a massive 14 count fabric for piece of this size. It's huge already. Of 25, it's like the size of a duvet basically. So maybe there's somewhere that you can get really, really big 14 counts. But yeah, I can totally see that being a problem. So Nikki says, did I catch up with? Did 2K on my restart? Quoting room. What's happening with the sentence? I have no idea what you're saying, Nikki. Have you been sucked into that Stargate where, you know, all the stitchers eventually end up when they have bingo, spooky bingo? I have no idea what you just said, Nikki. Please explain. Please don't, you know, I don't want to have to decode what you're saying. Nikki is talking from the other side. Miriam says, Gemma who? Yes, Gemma Stitches. It's the name of the channel and name of the lady. Well, not Stitches. Her surname is not Stitches. I don't know. Yes, so she's got a very unique way of stitching. Gemma who? Oh, Nikki says, did I catch up with you? Well, let me have a quick look then. Quoting room, I need to look on my iPad. I can't. But I think you're very close. I may be slightly over 2K. I knew you were going to catch up, okay? I knew it would just take you a day. I knew it. I was enjoying, you know, a brief moment of being ahead of Nikki. I knew it wasn't going to last, but I enjoyed the time while I was slightly ahead. But I think it would just take you another 15 minutes to catch up. So oh, Suzanne says you were using it yesterday. It was the one with the little white flowers. Let me have a little look there, just to confirm which one you're talking about. Suzanne's asking about the needle minder. Do you mean this one? This one? Whoops. This one? I think that's the one I was using yesterday. I can't remember. I think this one is coming from the same vendor as this one, if I remember correctly. I can't be sure. But if you're interested in the vendor, I can point you to it if you can confirm it's this one you're talking about. Chimahu. Let me take a sip of my tea here. Miriam says, I can get 22 counts for supersized haze, but I also have haze that isn't supersized chart, but still won't even fit on the 22 count fabric, which means I can't stitch it. 22 is the smallest I can manage. I wonder if there are sort of special vendors, they do bigger ones. There must be, because I don't know. But then again, Gecko Rouge is a company, so they may have special access to different types of fabric sizes that we don't have access to. Let me have a look. I'm going to end this one here. $550. Oh, today is going to be difficult for you with the Guess My Stitches. So at the end of every stream, if you're new to the chat, we play Guess My Stitches at the end. It's a thing. And you get to guess how many stitches I've done for each session, each stream. And the winner wins the grand prize of respect from the fellow stitchers and some of our delicious emoji buffet. And so there's top prize. So come and play at the end of the stream. But today it's going to be very tricky for you to guess accurately. Nikki's been on the roll, but who knows? Who knows? Oh, Suzanne says, Alex saw your bust needle minder. Oh, this one. Oh, I love this one. Yes. And it's telling me all about it. Oh, Alex, yes. This is London bus. And at one point, we nearly lost it with one of our mayors before Boris Johnson. There was a mayor, pretty much... I don't know what happened. He replaced this with really ugly, not double-decker, single-decker, long buses. That caused a lot of accidents because it was so long. And it's bendy. It's got bendy bus. It's got kind of like a spring bits in the middle attached to bits. Oh, it was so unsightly and dangerous. And luckily, if there are a few things I could say about... a few things good I can say about Boris Johnson. He was a good mayor, and he got rid of the bendy buses and replaced, came up with a new design for the Route Master, this model. Without the back, we used to be able to jump on the buses from the back here. We can't do that anymore, but in terms of the look, the classic look is still very much there with the new model. So we nearly lost it. It's a symbol of London. So Alex, there you go. Abony's here. Hello. Welcome. And Suzanne says spooky bingo 550. Suzanne, confirm whether you were talking about this one. Oh yeah, okay, you reply. Yes, it's that one. Let me have a quick browse on my Etsy. I'm pretty sure it's from Etsy because I got a whole bunch of needle minders from one of the vendors here. I'm pretty sure, and I'll give you the name of the vendor. It's a UK vendor, if I remember correctly. I tend to just buy from local ones. Let me just have a browse here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's from... Let me just have a look. because I got them a while ago, and let me have a look. Yeah, I think it's from this one. Let me have a double check. It may be from, you know, this one, I've got sewing machine and stuff. I think it's from this vendor, even though at this moment I can't find that particular image, but it's from a vendor. You can look up both. It's either this one, just look at the style of the needle minders here. It's a vendor called Enchanted, oops, sorry, Enchanted needle, X needle, or something like that. So it's this one. There's another one, it's a possibility as well. This one is pretty good as well. It's called Botanical Craft Studio. They do a lot of really pretty needle minders as well. I love them, like these ones. So have a look. I think they're UK based. I'm not too sure, but I love this one. It's so pretty, isn't it? Why don't we use this one today then? Swap. I like this one as well. I love this one as well. I think it's from the same vendor. There you go. And London bus stays. Miriam says, I'm in Australia and it costs a fortune to get fabric from overseas, which is about 90% of what's available. Do you not have fabric vendor locally though? I know Australia is quite big, but you must do. You don't have to buy from overseas. I always buy from the UK vendor because it's just less problem with shipping and probably cheaper as well with shipping. A14, A14. A14. Beautiful burgundy. Avenue says, finished work and ready to stitch. Oh, it's nearly 10 o'clock though. Do you get home so late in the evening? Well done, well done. Now it's time to relax. Time to relax. This one doesn't like me. Let me have a look. Miriam says, bendy buses is what we have in Perth. Double decker is what we don't. Oh, so Miriam says, so Miriam, in Australia, you have bendy buses. I remember there were so many accidents. Actually, you know, car accidents just dragging passengers or pedestrians under the buses. It was horrendous. It's just such a bad idea with kind of cities like London, because the streets are not very wide. And buses like that just have no place, no place to be here. Maybe Australia is different. Maybe you have more space. The roads are wider. Maybe a different story. But yeah, it was such a bad idea, and it's really, really ugly as well. So that's the legacy of Ken Livingstone. Unfortunately, that's all I remember of him. The mayor before Boris Johnson. Ashley Wilkinson is here. Welcome. Nikki. Yes, Nikki's speciality is, finding different ways to commit stitching crimes, like smuggling all sorts of things to various people. Like Robin Hood. Robin Hood, for people who cannot get fabrics or floss, DMC floss. Just call Nikki. You see. Grace Houston says spooky bingo 814. Oh, the one I'm stitching right now. Well done. The first spooky bingo today goes to Grace. Oh, Ebony says I work in a casino. Serious? Like real casino. Like the one in James Bond. Oh, amazing. Wow, no wonder. So the hours are a little bit later. It's an amazing profession. I've seen Casino Royale. The criminal mind of Nikki. And Suzanne says regarding referring to the bendy buses, they have those kind of buses in California. I remember riding them when I was a kid, so they've been around for a long time. Well, the London one is really long though. It's almost like two minibuses attached together. It's really horrendous looking vehicle, to be honest. It just looks so unnatural and weird. I don't know who came up with that design. Should be arrested. Yes, Steve, you're right. The Robin Hood of the stitching community, you know. Kelly's here. Kelly's quote plus. She says, hello, stitching friends. I'm a bit late, but I'm doing laundry for camping this weekend. Wow. Welcome. You can just listen to us. We'll keep you company. Ashley is asking, I have a quick question. I want to do my next project on 20 counts. What size needle will I need to use? What do you think, chat? So 20 counts, you would be working on 2 strands, right? 2 strands. I can say what I use and the chat can tell you what they use. So I would personally use 26, size 26, the ones I'm using right now with 2 strands. So everything 2 strands for me is 26 counts. Sorry, size 26, doesn't matter what fabric count I'm working on. And I use 28 for single strand. That's it. But it's a matter of preferences, I think. Some people like chunkier needles. Some people like finer ones. Sarah says, I will use size 26 or 28. Yes, the only thing with 28 would be if you're stitching with 2 strands, you might find it a bit trickier to thread 2 strands. But it's doable. It's doable. Albany says, a real casino, yes. We're open till 5 a.m., I'm guessing. But I work till 9:15 p.m. Interesting. 9:15, not 9:30, not 9 o'clock. 9:15. It's like a special message, secret code in that time. That's an interesting time to end. 9:15. Wow, a real casino. I don't think if I've ever been to a casino, to be honest with you. I have been to kind of mock casino for New Year's party or Christmas work parties. I remember one year they did a kind of James Bond theme, and they actually hire people from casino who can, do proper kind of car thing, like real, I can't remember what it's called, the people who do carts. But I don't think I've been to a real one. Suzanne says, I use 26. Yes, me too. Nikki says, if I get caught, referring to smuggling, is a chance I can stitch without interruption. Yes. So Nikki's fantasy is going to prison so she can just keep stitching. Very nice. We can all have dreams, different dreams for different people. For Nikki, is stitching in Stitcher's prison Where am I here? Good. Miriam says most city streets here, as in Australia, are wider than London streets. Yes, European streets are very narrow. Italy, oh my God, so small. Perth streets were built wide enough to handle camel trains back in those days. Camel trains. Before cars and trains. Oh, literally. So imagine, I have no idea. There's so many animals involved in that comment. Yes, I can imagine that. The streets must be a lot wider than London. I mean, our streets are so narrow. We barely have space for bicycles. So I remember initially when the bicycle lanes were defined, a lot of cars were complaining, and motorists, they weren't very happy. But now, I think people just get used to it. Here we go, 3858, 3858. Got one here already docked. Kelly says, I did a new start yesterday of a small project that will become Christmas ornament. Oh, that reminds me, we need to get on with the Halloween you know. I think quite a few images have been put in, like, suggestions have been put into the albums here. So guys, if you have a chance, go to the Facebook group and go under media tab. That's where all the albums are. There's one for Christmas and one for Halloween. So the Christmas one can wait a little bit, but the Halloween one, if you have suggestions, recommendations, then just pop the images in there. And for those of you who want to vote, just go to the albums and just like the ones you like. You can do multiple ones, okay, as many as you want. And the ones that got most likes, well, get picked out, the top 3, and we can do a poll, and then we can get the patterns and start stitching. So we want small projects that some of us can finish by Halloween, which is, when's that, 2 months away? It sounds like a long time, but considering how many whips we have ongoing and sale days, you know, we just want a little kind of side dish, side snacks that we can dip into just for fun. So, you know, go to the albums when you get a chance, and then we'll get that going. This one looking a little bit weird here. Sarah says, in Stitcher Prison, you can earn new charts with good behavior. But Sarah, what would be a good behavior for a stitcher in prison? I wonder. Just stitching a lot? Well, Nikki can definitely do that. Do you have to hit 1,000 stitches a day minimum? Or you're grounded, but then you're grounded already. So I don't know what else they can do. So Kelly is from Canada. She says we have good sized streets in most of Canada. My hubby has a big Nissan pickup truck. It does have some issues with parking though. We need a vehicle with decent power to pull the trailer. Oh, that's a very different lifestyle there. In London, you can totally get away without driving at all. In fact, it's much harder if you have a car. You have to find parking space, and there's really no need unless maybe you have a family like young kids. You have to ship them to places. Maybe a car will be useful, but otherwise, there's no need. Actually says, I'm from the northeast of the UK and they're removing all our bicycle lanes. Oh, because of the business can't get their stock in daily, so they're losing money. Oh, because the big lorries can't get past. Whoa, tough. I don't know. Yes, because the streets are quite narrow. I think it took a while for London to kind of get used to having a portion of the streets, dedicated to cyclists. It's quite sad. Because imagine the kind of the power, the fuel, and the resources you need to get a car going versus a bicycle. And a lot of times, if you watch the cars on the street, majority of the time is one person in the driving seat. It's not like they're carrying people all the time. So for one person, just to travel to A to B, you drive a car with four wheels, taking up a lot of space on the street. I'm not anti-car at all because, cars have its place. Definitely, you need vans to move things around. And sometimes you need, a taxi. So no problem with that. It's just the fact that, instead of supporting people using manpower to move around, and making it difficult. That's a shame. Let's have a look. Next one. I like to maybe move down a little bit so I can get to that blue rooftop. That's so pretty. Let me have a look here. But I like to kind of stitch in order a little bit rather than, jumping down and doing crazy cross country. 310, finally, 310 has arrived. 310, there you go. It's time for 310 to shine. Let's have a look. So recently I bought a whole bunch of 26, size 26 John James. I love 28, size 28 John James, but the 26, size 26 I use for 2 strands. Somehow the eyes are a little bit more narrow than the other ones I've been using. So I've been struggling threading with those a little bit. Otherwise, John James needles are great. Yeah, start from here. Suzanne says, there are great bylines here. Suzanne is in Sweden. Yes, I know. I think majority of the sort of Northern European countries, you know, Norway, Netherlands, Denmark, they all have great bicycle culture, and Sweden as well, I'm sure. And I think people are happier when they're able to sort of move around whenever they want, be free, sort of how they want to, you know, navigate the streets rather than relying on cars. I think I'm a lot happier since I started commuting or traveling with bicycles. It's a totally different way of life. Oh, someone's got 310 spooky bingo, Susan. Yeah, the second bingo. Who was the first one who got the first bingo? I can't remember. This is the second one. Amazing. I think the vortex, like the Stargate, is going to open very soon. And all of us can dive in and go to Stitcher's Wonderland. Suzanne says, I got rid of my car during COVID because I wasn't driving anywhere and bought myself a bike, and it's so much more convenient. I know. I really got to know London streets since I started cycling, because prior to that, everybody in London pretty much, you know, relying on underground, the tube, the subway system, and you kind of recognize the city kind of defined by stops. You know, you go from, I don't know, Leicester Square to Covent Garden. I used to think they were like miles away. There's only one stop, but since I started cycling, I realized you can literally just walk over. It sounds really stupid, but I think, you know, if you rely on public transportations, you tend to, you know, look at the city based on the definition of the stop rather than streets. I couldn't name any street names, and now I'm much better. And I got to discover a lot of hidden areas. You know, areas that I probably wouldn't have discovered if I wasn't on a bicycle. Steve says, so how do you stay smelling great, Yogi? Okay. Oh, just being me, I guess, Steve. It's the smell of peace. And what else? Yes, you can smell as great as me if you practice yoga, Steve. Have you ever done yoga, Steve? Did you follow the Stitches yoga that we did the other day at our halftime show? And if you didn't, very naughty. There's so many floss tubers in the chat. It's lovely. Lovely. Suzanne says, in this town where I live, I can get pretty much anywhere within 10 minutes on a bicycle. Yes, absolutely. And also with bicycles, you can get through a lot of routes you can't with cars. So you're moving pretty much very similar sort of routes that you can take as a pedestrian, but faster, pretty much. And anyway, you can't cycle, you just hop off and just walk a little bit until you can. It's just very kind of flexible way of traveling. And I'm normally on my folding bike on a Brompton. So, you know, I don't have to park my bike anywhere. Nikki says, I can't live in the big cities. I'm a small town girl. So Nikki, is where you live. You don't have to give out the name, don't. No home address or maiden name. But how small is small for you? Like in terms of population, are we talking, I don't know, is it like a village? The only stitcher in the village. Let me see if I can get another 2 stitches with this tiny piece of thread. I think I'm feeling I'm going faster because now I'm working with Pattern Keeper. There. Beautiful. Beautiful. Sarah says, Steve, do you have a smell-o-vision? Yes. My wonderful smell is permeating through the internet, through the stream, and deliver straight to Steve. Steve can smell it. Steve says, I keep missing the stitches yoga. I guess snacks were more important to me. Oh dear, Steve. I knew there were cheaters in the chat, you know. They pretend they're doing yoga. They're actually having snacks. Dear, oh dear. What do you do? Let me get this one. Small Town Stitches says, Nikki, I'm a small town girl too, it says on the tin. It's a Small Town Stitches. Busy Mom says, I'll be back. It's time to get up, work and drive home. Safe journey, Busy Mom. We'll see you in a bit. Nikki says 40,000, 40K, I think, but I live 5 minutes away from them. 5 minutes, but 40K sounds like a lot of people. Are you talking about a population of 40,000? That's a lot, isn't it? You know, when you say small town, I'm thinking 200 people, you know, with one church and a pub. Yeah, exactly, Sarah. 40K is huge, right? Sarah says, that's huge, Nikki. I'm in population of 2,700. That's still biggish, isn't it? Well, depending on how spread out it is, though. If it's really spread out, it might feel like a little bit smaller because you don't get to see people that easily. Nikki says, I say 1,500 to 50K makes a town. Did you just make up the number, Nikki? That's a vast range, though. 1,500, that is a small town, I think. To 50K, 50K is like a small city. Nikki says, how many is in London? I have no idea. A lot. You can Google. I don't know. A lot of people. And Suzanne, Kristen Ham, is that where you are? 23K, that's a lot as well. But it's probably more spread out, I'm guessing. It really depends on the density of the city as well, of the place as well. If it's really dense, it might feel a little bit more crowded. 154, 154. And Nikki, are you the only stitcher in the village? Nikki says, yes, it takes me 15 minutes to get to the grocery store. 15 minutes driving? It's not that bad. To grocery store. For me, it's about 5 minutes. I go to my supermarket. Yes, on top of my street is a high street running across. It's got most things. Oh, Suzanne, so it's a Picasso sculpture. This town is known for. I might know it, even though I'm not familiar with the name. Oh, interesting, Suzanne. Yeah, Nikki, if the population, the people in the area is spread out, it might feel a little bit more, it'd be quieter, wouldn't it? So it feels like you're in a the smaller town. But I remember watching this YouTube channel. I think it's somewhere in, oh, is it Norway? Or somewhere. It's very icy throughout the year. And I should remember the place. I can't remember what it's called. Maybe it's in Norway somewhere. And this lady and her partner, I think, lived there I think most time of the year. And it's just a tiny, tiny town. I think slightly bigger than the village. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's very sort of spread out. And they only have like one supermarket in town. And yeah, it's very, very interesting. And majority, well, they go through seasons of complete darkness for months and then daylight for months. So it's one of those places. It's very interesting. And everything's so expensive. You would have thought, remote places like that would be cheap. No, it's actually very expensive. It's proper Northern European prices. Down here, there. Oh, I missed a stitch. Clover Stitcher is here. She says, I wish I was cross-stitching. Daughter brought home homework from college for me to do. What? From college? So she's not, when you say daughter brought home sort of homework, I was thinking like, maybe a 7-year-old child from college. Oh, I see. Sewing projects, sewing patches on her scrubs for her clinicals for the nursing program. Oh, how nice. Yes, Mummy will help. Nikki says, it feels like I'm the only stitcher in town. I try to talk to people next to the DMC stand. You have a DMC stand. Jeez. I don't know what that means, but sounds great. Hey, Dolly. Babe, do you want to come here? Oh, it's Dolly time again. She's come in looking really pitiful and going, oh my goodness, I just had an adventure. Come hug me, babe. Come on. Oh, you're right. Dolly's seeking attention. I don't know what a DMC stand is like. I don't think we have anything like that over here. But I remember when we were coming out of COVID, and one of the first kind of, public places I went to was a stitchers fair in London, and it was in a quite a large venue in London, and I was so excited because it was the first one. You know, I learned about how to stitch like this during COVID. So when we were coming out of COVID, I said, well, I'll celebrate it by going to one of them, those stitchers kind of fair type thing, and when I went, I was so disappointed because stitching, there's so many different type of stitching, and the majority of them are, I don't know, like I think that there was some cross stitching, but majority of them would be a bit of sewing. They sew fabric and some threads type of thing, and some needles, etc., and needle miters, but nothing dedicated to full coverage in any shape or form. Because when I was talking to the fabric vendors, I was hoping they would have kind of linen. I was looking for linen at that time, and I remember talking to him mentioning kind of fabric count. I think I maybe asked something like, do you have fabric that's 40 counts or whatever it was? And a guy just looked at me like I had three heads, because he was selling fabric, but linen is just linen for him. There was no count. It was just fabric. So I have no idea. I felt so lonely. I felt like I was some sort of full coverage, cross-stitching alien wandering around. It's a very, very niche area of stitching, I think. Suzanne says, store is 2.5 kilometers from my house, so it doesn't take too long. Yeah, I still need to cycle for a little bit, and depends on the weather, you know. But also now people have options to get deliveries, I guess. Maybe it depends on where you live. A delivery for groceries and stuff like that. So you don't always have to go to a store. Oh, Clover Stitcher says, Yogi, have you ever been to a cross-stitching retreat? No, I haven't. I've heard about places like that, but I've never been to one. Has anybody been to yoga retreat? Not yoga retreat. Yoga retreats I have been to, but not stitchers. Is it like an overnight thing? Do you stay over, or is it like a one day? That sounds, very intriguing. Kelly says, Chili Whack. Oh, interesting name. Chili Whack BC has about 100,000 people, but is spread out, and the outskirts of town are rural, dairy farm, and corn mostly. Yes, it really depends on how spread out it is. It could feel very, very different. You can have a very small village, but if everything is kind of all concentrated together, it's actually quite cozy. It's quite nice, isn't it? Like a tiny little village, and you can be the only stitcher in a village. Yes, Norway's super expensive. It's crazy. Oh, Nikki. Nikki's looking for other stitchers so much that she's hanging out behind the DMC rack in hobby store. hoping someone will start talking about stitching with her. Oh, Nikki, thank God. We have these streams here that we can be all, all be nerds together. Otherwise, it will be social outcast, just talking about like fabric cones and I don't know, boomerang stitches. Oh dear. How antisocial is that? If you want to clear a room of people, just talk about boomerang. Just say, oh yeah, we've got this, amazing, thread ending method, highlight of our day. Boomerang. Would you like to try? 3371. 3371. It's a brown. We'll start quoting, DMC numbers. So, 310. Yeah, I've got a cone. I said, you have a cone? Or maybe two cones. I need to get another cone of 310. That kind of conversation. That's not going to go down very well at parties. Nine Joys is bedtime for Joyce. Well, it's just a little bit earlier today, isn't it, Joyce? Yes, you may rest and have a lovely sleep. Oh yeah, Kristen, you're quite right. I recognize the name. It's Svalbard. I can't pronounce it. I'm sure I butcher that. Yes, you know the one I'm talking about, Kristen. Yes, that's the lady I'm talking about. And they film their daily live. It's very interesting. And they have a lovely doggy. The name I cannot remember. Beautiful dog. So Suzanne hasn't been to Stitcher's retreat, but have been to Lace retreats. Oh, all sorts of things going on. Amazing. Leslie says, I'm really lucky. My local craft store is Sarah at Pain-Free Craft. It's only 20 minutes drive. It's nice to have a nice craft store nearby. I don't, unfortunately, I don't know whether the store is there, but there used to be a kind of quote-unquote superstore type of craft store near me, but I haven't been for quite a while. But it's a little bit depressing in there. It's kind of, they have kind of everything, but it's not a very well kept store. So everything is a little bit kind of, I don't know, I can't describe it. It's a little bit depressing going there, even though you can get a lot of stuff there, like yarns and fabrics and stuff. Otherwise, the nearest would be in central London. There's a store called John Lewis, which is a department store in the UK, and they have a kind of a sewing craft department. Normally, I haven't been for a while either, but I can't recall if there's any kind of dedicated, craft store. Not that many. It'd be nice to have some. But I think nowadays people mostly buy their supplies online anyway, so it's okay. Oh, Sarah's been to Scrapebooks retreat. What do you do there? Scrapebooks, so just collage of things. Oh, Annie B says, I was lucky enough to go to the Heaven and Earth stitching retreat in Oregon back in 2018 and got to meet Michelle and her husband, the owner. Oh my gosh, do they run retreats? Wow, it must be really popular. 2018. And Annie says, and they also have a lot of artists there. And I got to meet Amy Stewart. So it's almost like a, you know, like a fair type of thing. Amy Stewart is there, or was there, and her husband Lars. Oh, so Lars is the husband of Amy Stewart. I thought it just happened to share the same surname. So they're both artists. How amazing. I'll take a sip of my tea. Clover Stitcher says regarding the Stitchers retreat, she says usually a weekend, stay in a hotel a night, stitch all day. With lots of stitchers, I've attended StitchCon. Oh, it's like a convention. About 500 stitchers in one room, having a great time with new friends. 500 people in one room. That's a big room. My goodness. Wow. That's got to be something. And it makes sense to have in a hotel because you can just turn around and go to bed. I have a strand of fluff on my fabric I can't get rid of. I'm going to take a piece of my masking tape. It's really stubborn. Grace says, none of my friends have any interest in stitching. I show them what I'm doing and they say it would give them anxiety. Funny thing is, it helps my anxiety. I think it's just one of those things. Either you're into it or just it totally doesn't make sense. Because people probably thinking, and to be honest, I still have recollection on the first time I saw someone stitching full coverage, not just full coverage, but tiny stitches, like 25 count or something. At that time, it was so shocking to me. I was thinking, why would you stitch something so small? Because cross stitching for me is like this, 14 counts, maybe not even full coverage, just samplers and stuff like that. So I was watching this video and just, mesmerized. I was thinking, why would anybody choose to do that? Because the stitches are so small. And lo and behold, I'm doing it myself. So you never know. You just never know. For people who don't do it, it's a mystifying activity. Why would you want to do that? One, two, three. Yeah. Two, three, four. And Steve says, I'm quite lucky to have 2 cross-stitch shops near me. That's nice. Cross-stitch shops, like specialize in cross-stitching. Because most shops are kind of have all sorts of things. They might do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a bit of knitting stuff, and maybe some stitching stuff, or a bit of sewing stuff. It would be nice to have a cross-stitching shop. One stitch here. Nikki says Steve is hosting the next retreat. Yeah. Go on then. And Steve is going to do some yoga and a stitching retreat as well. And have some snacks at the same time, maybe simultaneously. And Suzanne says, there's a local yarn shop here. So I do yarn. And if I need DMC, they do have it. Yeah, most craft shops, even knitting, they probably, cross over selling some other type of supplies. I think in London, for some reason, yarn shops actually exist, specialize in knitting stuff. But I've never seen a cross-stitching shop. I don't know what that looks like. And Sarah says, scrape. Oh, yeah, regarding the scrapbooks retreat. Oops, I just hit my camera there. Earthquake. And put together scrapbooks of your photos. Oh, so you bring your photos and do it together. Oh, I see. Grace says, regarding stitching being unique, she says, I even showed on my son, and he says, can't you just buy the finished picture? It's probably a little bit like knitting. If you try to knit a sweater or jumper, they probably go, well, why can't you just go and buy one? Wouldn't that be easier? Fair. That's a fair point. Steve, maybe you can do some sort of yard work retreat, you know, just get together and weed the lawn. I don't know what normally happens with the yard work. I'm sure it's quite swelling. Here we go. I would like to get to some blue. Oh, I'm not that far away actually to the rooftop. Let me have a look. Yes, I am here. Why don't I have a little bit of this dark, deep blue action there? 939, 939. It's very dark. But it's beautiful. It's like color of the night sky. This one. It's actually blue. It looks black. We'll move down a little bit here. Oh, very nice. Here we go. Something I do like about Pattern Keeper is you could pre-select the ones you're stitching, and they're highlighted with a border, so you know where to focus on. Because like this one, I literally have tons and tons of stitches along here, the same color. So that pre-selection before you commit actually helps me to find where I am. So I'm thinking whether I should be going all the way over there. Why not? I think it might be neater that way. Steve says regarding yarn work retreat. He says that would be a dream, getting people willing to do my yarn work for fun. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Just, you know, you can collect a small fee as well and just go, well, come to my yard and we'll have a great time. And you can, you know, remove the weed for me and do all the bits and pieces and for a small cost. And I'll provide beverages, you know, maybe some ice cream soda. How's that? That sounds great. And Steve says, I promise you will smell great afterwards. One, two. There's two here. And I remember when I first, I think it was just before COVID. So COVID, the lockdown, I think it hit the UK probably March of year 2000, not year 2000, 2020, I think it was. But I think by January, after Christmas and New Year, there was quite a lot of, news and stuff going that maybe there's a virus going on and stuff. Because I think it was, I'm trying to think, February, March of 2020, I was planning to go to a yoga retreat in India. Quite a remote, I know nothing about India, but, I knew the location on the map and quite remote, kind of on I don't know, maybe an island or something. So it was quite a hassle to get to. You have to transfer the flight a couple of times from London. And I was planning to go. I was, really into the idea. It was like 10 days, so really long retreat. And lo and behold, the whole COVID situation came along. Everything was cancelled. So I never went. But, so I've never been to a really long yoga retreat, but I've been to short ones. I've been to a one-day retreat. That was fun. And at one point, I was thinking about maybe running some sort of workshop or yoga retreats, but it's just so much involved with organization and stuff like that. It's just not really for me right now. Suzanne says, there wasn't any lockdown here really, and the town I live in have very few cases, luckily. Wow, so you didn't have lockdown at all. Is it just where you live, or the entire country? I know some countries they didn't have lockdown. I can't remember which one. Maybe Australia? I can't remember. Maybe I remember that wrong. I remember some countries just go, oh, never mind, we're not doing it. They just carried on. Which was probably wise. Sweden was really loose about it all. That's good. Yeah, London we had 3 waves of lockdown. I think, yeah, it was just chaos. It was just chaos. I love this color. Midnight blue. One, two, three. There. We get another strand. 939. 939. Oh, Susan says, hardly anyone wore masks here. Alex went to school as normal. That's really nice. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the masks. Oh, dear. What a nuisance. It's so uncomfortable. Yes. I think surely after we're coming out of the lockdown, there were still some people wearing it, but now I don't think it's, anybody does that anymore. And I remember the facial masks, they were so expensive on Amazon. It was insane. It was like gold dust. And now they'll probably give them away for free. I don't know. No one's buying them. It was such a strange time. Oh, did you, Suzanne? Did you make your own? I think at one point, because it was so hard to get hold of sort of masks from shops. I remember that quite a few sort of DIY YouTube videos popping up, teaching people how to make their own. But it just doesn't sound very hygienic to reuse the masks. You can wash all you want. But it was a very strange time. So, Suzanne, when you say we didn't end up getting it till 2022, you mean the virus? So no one had it until 2022? Wow. Isn't that interesting? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4. I don't know whether you can hear the sound of the thread going through the fabric. It's so therapeutic. I love that sound. I think particularly with Ada and 14 counts, you really hear it. Oops. I just love this color so much. I keep going with this color actually. You can see that it's kind of, it's a rooftop here, this line here, and this is the window. Nice 3-9. Sarah says, I ordered fabric and floss today from my Amy Stewart. Which piece, Sarah? And what fabric count? I still haven't decided what fabric count I want to go for the traveling library. Decisions. I think I pretty much narrowed down to 28. But I'm also contemplating, I don't know, dare I say 32. I've never stitched 32 before, but if I were to go for 32, pretty much my only choice of stitches would be 10 stitches. Because full cross would be probably too thick. So, but even with 28 counts, I still have to decide on whether to get gridded fabric or not. and also what stitches. So I haven't come to a conclusion. Oh, Sarah is kitting up Candelicious. Amazing. 20 count gridded. Wow. It's going to be huge, isn't it? If it's a regular size or even bigger. 20 count. Nikki says do 32. But the thing is, if I do 32, pretty much I have to do a single strand, 10 stitches, right? Because full cross would be a little bit bulky or very bulky. Yeah. Because I'm thinking the 28 count projects, you know, I've got Sweet Shop, which is 2 strand, 10 stitches. And then the quote room, I'm going for full cross. So I'm kind of looking for a slightly different experience. So each project, it's got its own thing going on there, you know. I don't know if I can see the stitches, Vicky. That's my worry. And I don't want to get the fabric and go, wow, it's just not for me. Nikki is true. I have 228 but no 32 for good reasons. Just in case I can't see it. Yes, busy mom, enjoying making dinner. And Nikki says 10 stitches half the time. Yeah, I do like it, but I think recently I kind of fall in love with 4 stitches again, doing the quote room. I really enjoy the quote room. 4 stitches. I don't know. What should I do? What should I do? And the pattern is going to drop any moment now. I want to be ready. Yeah, and Nikki's doing 32 tent. Nikki's saying, if you can see 28, you can see 32. I don't know. I'm not so sure. Yeah, I can see 28 pretty well. But I'm also thinking about the coverage as well, Nikki. Do you think if I do 32 tent with DMC, the coverage would be okay? Have you ever done 32 with DMC? Because I know you're mostly using CXC for that count. Because for some reason, I'm just thinking that piece would do better with DMC. Sarah says, I'm thinking I'll do 2 over 110 on 20 counts. 2 over 110 on 20 counts. Does it have enough coverage? 2 over 1. Yeah. Because it works okay for 22 counts. For 20, it might be slightly on the thin side. I don't know. Nikki's doing air stitching most of the time, but she's happy. Rose says, Yogi, you can always purchase sample swatches or pieces of different size fabric to try. They're used for smaller patterns, and you can see if you can stitch them, can see them. I think 1, 2, 3 stitches, so sample sizes. That's a really good idea, because I can get fabric that's up to 52. See if I can see anything at all. Yes. Oh, interesting. Yes, I can get some samples, aren't I? So Sarah says it's the first time getting 20 counts. So what is your go-to fabric count? Can't remember. Trying to keep up with everybody's fabric counts. Is it 22, Sarah? Mostly. Busy Mom says, I stitch on 20 counts and love it. I do 1/1 full cross, but I do 1/1 full cross on 20. Interesting. But I do have one project that I do 2/1 tent, but using CXC floss. So 1/1 20, does it have enough coverage? I'm just thinking, even with CXC, whether it's going to come out a little bit on the thin side. Because even on 25 counts, when you do single strand full cross, sometimes you can see through the fabric with DMC. Not so much with CXC, but DMC you can, you know, with dark colors in particular, you can see through the fabric. So 20 counts, I would think you can definitely see the fabric. Hi, Linda. Linda says, what count are you stitching? And this one is 14 count. 14 count. So this is the Ada that came with the kid. And it's slightly blue. It's not pure white. So this is one of my comfort pieces. The 14 counts. Nikki, do you ever do it 14? I've never seen you doing anything smaller than 28. oh, maybe 25. Nikki says, but 32 grit is the best, and CXC 1 strand tent has great coverage. Yes. Interesting. So I think the best thing is to test it, I guess. I do that with recent projects. So it's probably a good idea. I mean, with 28 counts, I kind of took a chance and just got the fabric. And luckily, I can see the stitches. But 32, I think, might be risky to get the full size fabric. And if it turned out I don't like it, I'm going to get a little bit sad. So 1, 2, 3 stitches is American, right? So, well, I think fabric should be okay. As long as I don't try to buy DMC, they're not gonna ban me. Very pretty. And Busy Mom says, I personally think it's enough for me, referring to 1/1 20 count. Interesting. I mean, it probably depends on the piece as well. Some piece, you know, might work really well. Sarah says, I'm doing 1/1 4 on Monarch on 20 counts. And she says it looks pretty good. Alison says, Abby at Cross and Crafts. So samples. I think I pay £1 each. Really? Where is that? Cross and Craft. What platform is that? Is that Etsy or a website? £1 each is very, very reasonable. I just need a small piece, you know, so I can just put a few stitches on. Busy Mom says the patchwork that I post on Facebook page yesterday is 20 counts, 1/1 full cross. Okay, we'll definitely have a look. Patchwork as in Kim's pattern. Oh no, not patch. Maquettes. Oh, that looked pretty good. I'm pretty sure I saw it. Yes. You started from the upper left corner. You're doing a green wall ceiling bit. Well, that looks pretty good. Yes. And Grace says, I use CXC on 20 count 1/1 and DMC 1/1 on 22 counts. I like the coverage. Right, so for 20 counts you use CXC because it's fuller. Right. Yes. Sounds like a very good idea. Oh, another dark blue. A23. It looks identical to the blue I've just stitched, but it's a different color. It's practically identical. Maybe slightly more, maybe a tiny bit lighter. Tiny bit. Sarah says, Monarch is on 18 counts. What? 18 counts? Did you say 1/1? Really? Full cross? And it's okay? 18 counts I've done is always 2 strands for me. Nikki says, I do 28 counts 2/2. Wow. But not for full coverage. Okay, fair enough. Yes, 28 2/2 will be really full, because yesterday I was doing 2/1. Oh, 2/2. Okay. So it's 14 counts really, isn't it? Technically. Yes, I should get the sample. I might get a couple of higher counts just to see if I can see anything at all. Just for a laugh, you know, not that I want to. My 36, 40, 52 air stitching territory. I can't even visualize what 52 count looks like. Probably like linen, right? Just tiny, tiny stitches. But I think 52, if you seriously want to do something with it, I don't know, maybe the design is not going to come out too well because the stitches is way too small. Everything will be crumped together. Sometimes you need that volume, you know, you need that real estate for the design to come through. Suzanne says 25 count is really hard for me to see. Yes, I think individually we'll have that, you know, comfort zone that we go to. There's a balance between the comfort for the eyes and whatever you're stitching. There's just no need to kind of strain the eyes just for the sake of it. It's like Gemma as well. Gemma stitches. I think she said that she much prefers 14 counts mostly because going above that, I think she may have one that's, I can't remember, it's 18 counts or 16 counts that she does on the side, but mostly she does 14 because it's just comfortable for eyes. Going above 14 counts, then she will need, I think, some sort of help with magnifier or something, and it becomes a hassle. So, you know, she just decided that she's not going to do that. And I like that because, you know, no one says you have to do 25 counts to cross stitch. No reason. Oh, Alison says she's on Etsy and based on Penance. I get all my fabric in CXC. So to get it shipped to the UK, you never have any issues. And is there shipping as well? I don't know. If I just buy 3 pieces of fabric, £3, I don't know whether she's going to ship over here. But I'll look her up. I'll try to jot down the name actually in case I forget. Let me see. So I can't remember. I need to scroll back. Is it Cross and Craft? Okay, I'll look her up. Thank you so much. Turtle Stitcher says, I've been trying to decide about whether to do traveling library on 18 counts. Okay, if you can get a fabric, why not? I think there's one person on the Facebook on our group I'm pretty sure it's 18 counts, but I think the person was doing 3 strand tent or something like that. And Turtle Stitcher says, I like the coverage of 2/1 18 counts. Full cross. But will it be too pixelated, do you think? No, it's just different effect. I think any design on different fabric counts, so like this one, 14. Yes, you can, technically you could categorize this as pixelation, but it's just nice effect. It's really pretty. Let me bring up the whip I've got here. Yeah, it's pretty. It's just a different kind of feel to it. And also, I think the most important part is whether you enjoy the stitching experience, because that's what you're going to spend the time doing. So if you enjoy it, and it will come out beautiful, no doubt. Susan says 52 counts probably makes a nice handkerchief. Yes. It's much better for wiping the nose than stitching. I know, but I think it might be our Brittany saying that I would love to try 52 counts because I love air stitching. So, aliens do exist. It is happening in the chat, in our group. I think it probably becomes a challenge because now, before meeting all you guys, I probably would never have tried 28 counts. No names, Nikki. And, because I just thought, well, maybe there's no chance I'll be able to see the stitches. But having seen other people doing it, you kind of go, well, maybe, just maybe, I can do that too, And once you get to do 28 counts, then you start to think, well, how about 32, So maybe that's how it happens. It's not instant. You just go, well, I just want to do something different each time. And you just end up becoming a crazy person doing 52 counts. I don't know whether people like that exist. Or they're just stitching air. Suzanne says, my comfort zone is 20 and 22. And that's where you should be. There's no reason you have to do 25 counts at all. Turtle Stitcher says, I think the height is 39 inches. Oh, referring to traveling library. It's portrait, isn't it? So if you don't know which piece we're talking about, let me bring up our this beautiful piece here. Where is it? Here. So this is a new piece from Heaven and Earth by Amy Stewart. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. And I love the fact that everybody's choosing different fabric counts, because a design like this, people just go, yeah, 25 counts or above, because it's so huge. But in our group, I've seen 18 counts, maybe 20 counts, and definitely 25 counts as well. So they'll come out differently. But yeah, it's very nice, very interesting. Nikki, see you later. Workout time for Nikki, yay. Enjoy. Suzanne says I have to use magnifier even on 14. Fair enough. I think the quality of the stitching comes first, before anything, because there's no point straining the eyes just for a hobby. Oh, Alison says Penance. Penance is England. Where? Where in England? It sounds so exotic. Penance. Pennant. Oh, Penzance. I've never heard of the location. My geography is not great. Anywhere out of zone 2 is a lost cause for me. And London has 6 zones, 6 of them. Alison says samples 5 by 5 inches goes up to 32 counts, easy grit, and 32 counts. Murano? Right, so you can't get anything higher. I was thinking maybe giving 52 a try just for a laugh. Fair enough. Oh, Cornwall. Okay, it sounds so exotic. Nice name. I probably butcher the pronunciation as well, as usual. Sarah says Stitching Mummy does a lot of 40 counts. Wow, 40 counts. Like full cross, 1/1. That's crazy. And she still has eyes as far as I can see on the YouTube channel. She just still have normal 2 eyes. She's not even wearing glasses. Oh, the superhumans out there. Susan says, I'm doing it on 16. Doing what? Doing the traveling library on 16? Can you find the fabric big enough? And Suzanne says, I'm curious about 28. Yes. Yeah, in a strange kind of way. I think the gridded ones, the fabrics, the threads are closer together. So it feels more like 25 count. But the 28 counts, the plain one I've got for Sweet Shop, the fabric, the threads are so far apart. In a way, it was easier for my eyes. Maybe comparing to 25, strangely, because you can see more definition between the sort of, the area, the 4 corners, so to speak. It's strange. You would have thought 28 would be harder for the eyes. But the plain ones, the plain fabric, DMC fabric, I find it easier. Oh, Turtle Stitcher says historically lots of piracy in Cornwall. Therefore, the pirates of the Penans. I was thinking this sounds so exotic. It just doesn't sound like a location in this country. Oh, the history. Yes. Total Stitcher says, I think Stitching Mummy mostly stitches over 2 on, 2 over 2? 1 over 2? I think there's a number missing there. On 40 counts, but some over 1. 1 over 1? Yes, if it's over 2, essentially it's double, well, half the size, isn't it? Half the fabric count. Yeah. So essentially 20 count. Oh, everybody knows about the Pirates of Penance. Is a great Gilbert and Sullivan operetta. Right. There you go. I'm not well versed in the pirates of any sort. And Susan says, yeah, already got the fabric. I'm going to cut to size until I reach the edges. Right. 16 counts. Wow. Yes, because we're talking earlier on whether you can even get 14 count for a super size or a regular size height. I'm sure you can, probably. Depends on the... I think probably doesn't matter what orientation it is, isn't it? But yes, eventually, you know. Everybody knows about the pirates. 796. 796. But it's quite interesting. I don't know whether you guys have seen the photos on our group that somebody was doing 3 strands, half stitches, 10 stitches for the traveling library piece. It's quite unusual. And the fabric count, I'm trying to think. I think it was 18. Yeah, 18 counts. 3 over 1. 3 over 1 tenth. Oh, this blue is really pretty. I didn't notice the difference there, but now I've stitched it. It's almost like glowing out of the darker blues. Very interesting. Has anybody seen that film? I think this year might have been the Oscar best film or whatever. You know, the one with Demi Moore? I've been because everybody's raving about it, and I've been really curious, but it's you have to rent it on Amazon and also maybe on Netflix as well. You know the one, I can't remember the title. I'm sure you know. It's kind of a, not horror, but it's, you know, one of the thrillers. And I just want to know whether it's worth renting the movie. 796. I haven't been kind of intrigued by movies for a while, but that one looks interesting. 796. Jams, hello. She says, hi, dropping in. Hopefully longer than a few minutes. Happy time zone everywhere. Yeah, hang out with us. Can you not stitch today? You know, it's good to see you. Let's see. Jam says, hi, Busy Mom. I found your videos. Yes, Busy Mom is a floss tuber. Busy Mom Stitchers. Let's see. I can do a little bit more blue here. Quite fancy that. 939. Been so busy recently that I haven't really looked around videos from other floss tubers. Oh, Siri, please go away. Siri's come up voluntarily again. I was just talking about being really busy, so I haven't checked out everybody's videos, but I will. I will. We have many floss tubers here in our chat. These needles are much harder to thread. 2 strands, the John James needles. The eyes are a little bit narrower, so I'm struggling a little bit. Because normally it's really easy. So with the streaming software I've got here, I don't know whether I'm able to kind of co-stream with maybe another floss tuber, because we've got so many floss tubers here. We could potentially do a co-streaming, like stitching together chat on a stream. Maybe do it like, you know, once in a while with one of you, if you're willing. It'll be fun, wouldn't it? Because normally I'm doing the talking with your words, with your comments, but just my voice. It would be interesting to have another one of you at the same time. We can have a split screen, you know, stitch together. Clover says that would be fun. Yes, indeed. I know StreamYard, you can do that quite easily, but I'm using OBS. I don't know whether it's even possible. It would be really fun to do. And we can have like conversation and chatting with you in the chat as well. And I'm gonna make the final stitches. I didn't realize at midnight. Oh, time flies. Yes. So, you know what's coming? The regulars. It's Guess My Stitches coming up, okay? I'm still making the final few stitches, so you need to take that into consideration. And I'll let you guess my stitch count today. So I think I'm doing pretty well today. I have no idea how many stitches, but I'm thinking I'm doing well. Busy Mom says, can I ask Yogi, if you don't want to answer, don't worry. But what do you use to do your lives with? It's OBS. It's a free software you can download on both platforms. And it's slightly fiddly. I wouldn't say you need to be technical, but you probably need to do a little bit of research. On their tutorials on YouTube everywhere. So it's OBS like 3 letters, and it's free. So that's why I'm using it. And also it's got 4K capability as well. Whereas if you use platforms like StreamYards and stuff like that, they charge you a fortune just for 4K streaming. And there's a free version for them, but they stick like a big fat logo on top of it, and low res as well. So OBS is a good choice, but you do need to do a little bit of research on how to use it. But once you get your head around, it's a pretty good software. But I don't know whether co-streaming is possible. I'll probably look into it. I think it would be fun to have a chat with, some of you floss tubers and stitch together. So these 2 are my final 2. Oh, Busy Mom says, okay, then do you use your PC for the camera? No, I attach the computer to my, I've got a camera. It's a Panasonic GH5. It's quite a popular one for a lot of YouTubers, I think. And but you can connect it with any kind of camera or no camera. You can just use your the computer, the camera on the computer. Obviously, the quality would be slightly less good, but it's not a deal breaker. Or you can attach to your iPhone. So that's another option. I think you need an app on the iPhone or a mobile phone if you want to connect it with OBS, use it as a camera. So yeah, there are many choices. It's a little bit more involved if you're using external camera, because you need a video card as well to connect it, to feed the video into your camera. So it's a little bit, a little bit more involved. But, if you're happy using your webcam, depending on what you're trying to do, if you're just doing a face shot, like most of your videos, then the PC camera should do it. But if you're doing stitch with me, meaning that you want the camera to face down onto the fabric, then it's much better to use an external camera. So yes, feel free to ask questions. I'm here to help. I mean, I don't know everything, but I've been streaming for a while, so I know, a little bit. I know enough to do what I'm doing now. So, any question, just throw over to me. I'm happy to help. So let's have a look at what's happening here. Dun, dun, dun. Look at this. Okay. I'm exaggerating, building up so much expectation. But today I basically worked on this page right here. So the page on the left is finished, and I'm moving on to the page 2 from the top. So this is actually the top edge of the piece. I'm starting from upper left. So the piece, if you haven't seen the markup, it looks like this. It's beautiful. So I've done the brick, upper left corner, the brick wall. Let me bring up my whip here. So these this bit contains the first page and the first page of the second row. So I decided to go down. It's almost finished, the bottom one. And then from the last session, I decided to move to the second page on the top there. So this is the bit I've completed so far. There's a little bit was from the last session, but all these bits are from today. So it will give you some indication, okay, in terms of how many stitches I've done today. I made it hard for you because yesterday was 2 days ago was too easy. I was doing block by block, man. I was just like, even I could do it. So there you go. So you have time to submit your numbers here. If you're a lurker, come forward. Just throw a number out there, and maybe you will be the winner here, okay? So let's have a look. Susan says 225. Grace Hoston 235. Jamie 327. Sarah 247. Sarah is good with guessing. And Busy Mum 215. Suzanne 245. Let's have a look. I don't know how many stitches, so I am going to slowly move this view forward, and let me just show you the percentage there. So you can see currently I'm on 8.23, which is not too bad for a large piece like this. And for the stitch count, I haven't seen it myself. Done. Oh, Tracy, last minute submissions 316. Thank you for your confidence. And let's go. What? Oh no. I have broken my own record. Today I have stitched 9,805 counts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm officially an alien. Sarah, you can move to the side. From now on, I'm running the alien club, okay? So I just remembered. Let me all that build up. Oh dear, what have I done? Oh dear, I don't know what's happening here. So I just remember that today I marked all these stitches as I transferred a pattern over. So I'm amazing today. I managed to stitch all of this today. So in that case, you know what? All of you are winners. Yes, everybody has won today. I think you all guessed it because I have no idea how many stitches I've done. Yeah, you're winners. I knew it. So bring on the emoji buffet, guys. We need to be fed. We've got quite a few winners there. Everybody's a winner today. Oh my. This is what happens. So, oh, guys, yes. Let's enjoy the buffet together. All the medals and trophies, that's for everyone because you're winners and you all guessed very correctly because we don't know what the answers. Yes, Grace, we're all winners. Every night we win. And so it's now past 12. I can't believe it. It's gone so fast today. Yes, all the yummy treats. And some weird kind of from Jam Jams. I don't know what they are. Some wizards with strange hats there. And some healthy options there. But also some very decadent and one alien there as well. So thank you everyone for joining. Yes, Raelian, that's me today. I stitched a lot today. Okay, I have my app as the proof. You saw it. I saw it. We all know it's real. And so from sleepy London town, 12 at midnight, Yogi signing out. And don't forget tomorrow, our Sao Day, Kim Sao Day. So bring out your Kim Jacobs piece and stitch with me. And if you're stitching something else, just keep it quiet. And I'll let you join the chat and to watch us as well. So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy your session as well. Great chat. So I will see you tomorrow. Nighty night, everyone. Night night. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are.